Right, we're in Parramatta. It's the 6th of July 2025, and this is the National Rally Against Terrorism, it's called, by the Never Again Is Now group. And it's a mixture of Indians, or Hindus, sorry, Persians, which is the people in the Iranian flag with the lion on it, Israelis and others, against terrorism. And then you've got the socialists have set up as well, which is really unusual. And this guy's people taking photos on this. Seems to be separated off. It's a no war on Iran, stop Israel starving Gaza, tell Albanese sanctions now. And these are the socialist group. I don't know if they're going to hang around or if they're packing up. But I think they're packing up. So I think they might have been here and now they're going to go, because they saw it's not a, they certainly are in the way of the, the groups at the moment. They are the opposite of the two. So they everyone's just staring at them and like, yeah, here comes a lady. A lady's going to confront them now with her poster, showing it in front of them, which is the bring him home now, the hostages. So they are leaving. I think they're packing up. So I might have got here a little bit late. But it doesn't start for a while. But yeah. So I don't know that the cops are over there now. They did come over, but they didn't really speak to them. Looks like it's kicking off. So the socialist table is leaving, and I think they're moving, which he's carrying the table. So it's probably just moving up the road a little. Yeah, I think they're just moving a little bit. Because I don't think it's they're clashing. They're clashing groups. So they are. Yeah. So that's going to go down the street. Everybody, they're giving them a wave off. So a little bit going on. There's no media here, of course, just me. There's me. There's the no one media is here. No other media, of course. And then these guys have got their 3-minute snack thing. They do that at town hall as well. More people with flags. The socialists are just setting up down the road a little. So maybe the cops did tell them to give it 20 metres. Anyway, let's go and listen to the speeches, eh? We don't have to listen to.
Like those posters to be held up as well, just to respect and.
So I don't know if he's
those people and to tell them things that they
let's have a look.
So, and there are lots of Aussie flags being handed out. So feel free to grab those Aussie flags if you haven't got enough of them. All right. Any questions? Come let me know. We'll chill to some music for another 5 minutes.
Okay,
Thank you.
It's not happening yet, so we'll have a wander around. Yeah. Victims of, I think these are the Indian guys against the Pakistanis, maybe. I don't know, I wish I was more knowledgeable on things. I see a bit of that online, but I've never quite followed it through. You've got this guy with his Aussie and Israeli flag, another guy with his Israeli flag coming, mostly Aussie flags, and the old Iranian flag, the pre-79 flag. There's a guy with the camera there, but I don't think he's mainstream media. I think he's just probably an interest media. All right, that's 3 minutes of waffling, and there's no cops. I don't think there's a march. I think it's just going to be speeches and 5 more minutes of music, and then we're off. So we'll just wait. We'll wait and see what happens. These little boys are they're do a ride past and yell out "Free Palestine," and then all the socialists cheer. Here he comes, this little fella. Oh! I think he just must have missed that skinny little post sitting there. Anyway, she's giving him a socialist thing. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. It's like I don't know, talk about instant karma, but it is. Look, I'm one for believing that protests. Everyone can have their protests, and I've seen from all my time at going to these protests, it's always the counter protesters that are generally in the wrong, because it's just like, look, let someone have a protest, leave them alone, then you have your protest, and they always leave you alone. It's like one lot. I haven't seen the Palestinians come to one of these before, so it is unusual. But when you have a like the Leave the Kids Alone rally, or the anything sort of that they perceive as being anti-trans, or the trans people come out in big numbers. If it's a drag queen story time, they're out to protect the children and the drag queens and everything else from these imaginary protesters, and it's odd. It's an odd thing. This is unusual today compared to usual. All right, I think the speeches will start soon. The sideshow's finished. The boy's dusted himself off and he's off riding again. He'll probably do a few more loops. I think they're waiting for us.
Anyone here who's got a camera with battery that would like to do live stream, you don't have to be on camera, you're just using your phone.
They want someone to do a live stream. He's asking.
And it will be used.
I'm not sure. So, all right. Let us get our position in the front and we'll see what's happening. Australians stand together. So they seem to have a, I think it's Australian flag, Israeli flag, Indian, I think, I don't know that one, and the old Iranian flag. So the Pahalgam, I think it's the attack that happened between the Pakistanis and the Indians. I hate to comment on it because I have no bloody idea really. Yeah, I think it is. It's that recent attack in what do you call the disputed Kashmir. I'm half making this up, so hopefully some of it's right. All right, I'll shut up until they start speaking.
I am the one of the members, the founders and the CEO of Never Again is now. And we're a movement that is about standing together against hatred, to combat anti-Semitism, and to renew the culture of our great country, Australia, so we are a place where every minority is safe and free. And this afternoon has been organised by another grassroots movement from Brisbane, the Minority Collective. They are a wonderful group who are working to bring together the minority groups in Australia to say hatred is directed at minorities, and as the minorities of Australia, we have a role to play in building a civil society where everybody is safe and free. So follow them on social, sign up, donate, and big shout out to Minority Collective, to Roz and Hava and the team. And so that's great. Now, we here, and big shout out to Minority Collective, to Roz and Hava. I think we're also streaming we've got the live stream going. Okay, we are all about love and unity. And so this afternoon, we are going to keep this super positive. We have a beautiful afternoon, and we're united together to say, as Australians, we all stand here against hate and for this great and wonderful country. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce my co-MC for the afternoon, Kieran Sampath Kumar, who is going to lead us on. Thank you, Kieran.
Thank you very much, Mark. Namaste, everyone, and welcome. It's genuinely very exciting to see such a large, diverse group of people coming together on a Sunday afternoon to stand against a united cause of terrorism. I'll be introducing our first speaker. Our first speaker is Ashwani Ji Thakru, who was born and raised in the beautiful valley of Kashmir in India, where he completed his schooling. However, like many Kashmiri Hindus, he and his family were tragically forced to flee their homeland in the face of escalating terrorism. Growing up in Kashmir, Ashwani witnessed firsthand the brutal reality of this violence. Ashwani is a passionate advocate for peace and understanding and a valued member of the Kashmiri Pandits Association of Sydney, where he has previously served in various capacities, including the role of Vice President. Ashwani ji.
Thank you, everyone. Hello, namaste, shalom, and salam to everyone. Thank you for providing me an opportunity to speak at the event where we have assembled to stand united against terrorism and confront this global menace. I understand there will be people standing here who have encountered terrorism in one way or the other, and there'll be others who will be intrigued and want to know a bit more about this senseless violence. I am a victim of terrorism, as are my family and my wider Kashmiri community members. My story originates from a place called Kashmir, which is located in the northern part of India and is often called heaven on earth. Rightfully so, since it's surrounded by majestic Himalayas, snow-capped peaks, beautiful lakes, and breathtaking beauty. I considered myself lucky that I was born and brought up in a place like Kashmir, growing up in a joint family surrounded by a vibrant community and friends. My early teenage years were spent in exploring various parts of Kashmir, which ranged from swimming in the beautiful Dal Lake, trekking and camping in various places of Kashmir, including the Himalayas. Now, listening to my story, you would be like, what can go wrong? Unfortunately, our world was shattered by growing terrorism in Kashmir in the late 1980s that saw emergence of various terrorist groups like the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front, Hizbul Mujahideen, etc. Terrorists started killing family members of my community and also indulged in mass killing, which involved lining up women, kids, men, and massacring them just because of their religious faith, since they were Hindus. This was a well-planned ethnic cleansing of my community in Kashmir. There are various documented facts of murder, sexual violence, abduction, torture of Kashmiri Hindu community in Kashmiri Valley. They started with killing few prominent people like the lawyers, the judges, bureaucrats, and also poets and scholars. Incidentally, one of the famous judge who was killed was grandfather of my childhood friend. There were also mass killing that happened in various places. I'll just recite a couple of them, including Nadigram and Vandhama, where men, kids, and children were lined up and mercilessly killed. Guess the age of the youngest one, it was 2 years old. And you heard it right, yes, it was 2 years old. These incidents, along with warnings published in the local newspaper, posters threatening Hindus to leave Kashmir, to either convert or leave, desecration of our holy places, holy temples, resulted in the 7th exodus of 300,000 Kashmiri Hindus from Kashmir. We had to leave our home, belongings, ancestral land to save our lives, dignity, and religious identity. It is ironic that there are hardly any Kashmiris left in Kashmir, Kashmiri Hindus left in Kashmir, considering they were the original inhabitants of the region, as documented in various books, including Kalhan's Raj Tarangi, which goes back to the 12th century. Fast forward to April 2025, terrorists killed 26 tourists in Pahalgam region of Kashmir. They deliberately singled out Hindu men after inquiring about their religious identity and shot them point blank in front of their traumatized family members, including wives and children, who were spared only to recount the horrors they witnessed. I'll conclude with a statement. Terrorism in all its forms is an unjustifiable violation of human rights that threatens global peace and security. We strongly condemn such cowardly acts targeting innocent civilians. The international community must unite to combat terrorism, ensure accountability, and support its victims. Thank you very much.
As we hear these stories, we realize, perhaps afresh, how terrorism has touched so many of us in our communities here and abroad. And we need to be aware of it and stand against it. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce now Ahura Vahidi, an Iranian-Australian medical science student, monarchist, and advocate for a secular, free Iran.
What a good day today to see so many different flags, so many different people coming together for a great cause. My name is Ahura. I'm the same age as Nika Shah Karami. We were both born in Iran, yet our lives are so distant. I grew up in Australia, she grew up in Iran. A land of history, culture, but a land infected with crime and hate under the Islamic Republic. This distance meant that Nika, a teenage girl with no weapon but her voice, was raped, tortured, and killed before being dumped on the streets of Tehran. Today, we must fight this distance because our hearts beat for the same truth: freedom, dignity, and the right to live.
Yes.
Today, I stand here to say Nika's voice is not silenced, and the distance between dictatorship and freedom is lessening. The people of Iran, Hindus, Israelis, and Australians must stand for her and our peoples who, despite bullets and blood, still stand tall. As an Iranian Australian student and a proud monarchist, I will shout her name. Nika Shah Karami, say her name. Nika Shah Karami, say her name. Nika Shah Karami, say her name. If the free world does not stand up to the terror of the Islamic Republic today, it will come for us tomorrow. This terrorist regime is not a threat to just Iranians. It is a threat to the Middle East, to the world, to all who believe in peace and freedom. The people of Iran have been fighting for more than 40 years, and now they have a new hope, reborn under leadership of Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, and an alliance with Israel and India for regime change. Regime change in Iran. Regime change in Iran. Regime change in Iran. Only a few days. Regime change in Iran. Only a few days ago, 3 young men were brutally assaulted by this regime and its armed forces, 2 of whom were killed. Thousands of people in Hamadan shouted in the streets, "The enemy is here," referring to the IRGC and the mullahs. They know no one is safe until there is a regime change in Iran. Here in Australia, a land that values democracy, justice, and human rights, we must stay awake. We must stand with the people of Iran before this terror reaches our shores. And it's coming sooner than later. Yesterday's tragic events insulted the unity and diversity of this country, threatened our Jewish brothers and sisters. It is why we must stay vigilant. It is why we must stay vocal. It is why we must take away power from these terrorist ideologies. The first step is to fight the Ayatollah. We will make Iran free. We will bring peace to the Middle East. And until that day comes, the name Nika and all those who gave their lives for liberty will live on, uniting us against terrorists. Never again is now. Never again is now. Never again is now. Never again is now.
Never again is now. Never again
Is now. Is now. Thank you. My name is Ahura, and thank you for listening.
It is a genuinely wonderful experience to bring together the different groups we have that make up this great country. Unfortunately, united by our common experience of heartache and loss and terror, but united by our commitment to stand together and draw strength from each other. And so it's my very great pleasure to welcome to the stage Robert Gregory from the AJA. He's the CEO and President of the Australian Jewish Association. He has a legal background and is a sought-after commentator on issues affecting the Australian Jewish community. Robert Gregory, thank you very much.
Wow, What a turnout. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm extremely proud to be here on behalf of the Australian Jewish Association. A huge thank you to the Minority Impact Coalition, to Never Again Is Now, and the organisers of today, all the partner organisations who put in all the hard work to make today possible. It's incredible to see so many diverse communities here today. When we are united, they can't break us. And today we stand united. Jew, Christian, Hindu, Iranian, and many, many other groups. It's been a very difficult weekend for the Australian Jewish community. The anti-Semitic attacks in Melbourne last night were not just an attack on Jews, they were an attack on all Australians. But they will not break us. Anti-Semites, whether they're in Melbourne burning down synagogues or standing a few meters away from us, will never break us. The Jewish community is often a canary in a coal mine. But make no mistake, these ancient hatreds, like anti-Semitism and radical Islam, are coming for all of us. We must call out the horrific terrorist attacks, including the recent attack against Hindus in Kashmir and many, many others. And the decades of brutal repression by the Islamic Republic of Iran against their own people. We must remember the atrocities of October 7 and never forget them and ensure they can never occur again. We must never forget Mahsa Amini. We must call out the failure of the so-called human rights groups, the silence of the Greens, who enable this hatred by saying nothing. And we must call out the government, people like Penny Wong, who are weak. See, Penny's not very popular here. Who are weak on the Islamic Republic of Iran. We called on the government to prescribe the IRGC as a terrorist organization. They refused. We called...
IRGC terrorists! IRGC terrorists! IRGC terrorists! IRGC terrorists!
We called on them to expel the ambassador of the Islamic Republic. They refused. This government is weak on radical Islam. It's weak on defending Christians. It's weak on defending Hindus, and it's weak on standing with Israel. They know that the Iranian Islamic regime is behind much of the chaos in the world and the Middle East. The Houthis, the destruction of Lebanon, and much, much more. They know, but they refuse to act. So it is up to us. It is up to the people. And together, we are much, much stronger. That's why I'm happy to see so many of you here today. We must keep up the fight. We must keep up the fight together, because together we will force the change. Thank you, everyone.
Alrighty. It's honestly amazing to see such a large turnout from all these various communities. It takes moments and movements like this to get the people up the top to listen to our pleas and feel the injustices that are actually being felt by people in our Madrubhumi, in our motherlands. Our next speaker is very young and dynamic, Yashvi Shah. She's the Principal Director of YST Legal. She has been a court advocate practicing in criminal jurisdiction of New South Wales for the past 13 years, and she holds a Master's of Law in Human Rights Litigation from ANU. Yashvi is the only Jain criminal law solicitor in Australia, and she was a guest speaker at TEDx Youth in Sydney. She raises awareness on the rights of Indigenous Australians, and she also raises awareness on the oppression and persecution of those who are Indigenous practicing Sanatan Dharma in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Kashmir, India. Yashvi.
Much for the introduction, Kieran. The 3 I's. What do we share in common? Indus Valley Civilization, 6000 BC, Persia, more than 5000 BC, and Judah, more than 2000 BC. The reason why I'm here today with all of you is to stand in solidarity with the Israeli and Iranian Australians who have faced generations of religious persecution and oppression by terrorist organisations and Islamic fascism. A fact that most of you may already know is that India, Iran and Israel are home to the oldest 3 religions on earth, Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, and Judaism. India and Israel are democracies which were once colonized by the British, but a fact that you may not know is that the earliest migration of Jews in India was in the Malabar coast of India between the 8th and 9th century, fleeing the Assyrian conquest. The Hindu majority accepted the Jews to freely practice their faith without conversion. The city of Cochin in the southern state of Kerala in India is home to the oldest synagogue in South Asia, which I visited last year. I was born in Mumbai, and in Mumbai I'm born into a Jain family. Jains are real minorities in India. And in Mumbai we have synagogues, we have churches, we have mosques, we have temples, we have gurudwaras, all in the vicinity of 5 kilometers, or 2 kilometers I should say. And there is a thriving minority Jewish and Iranian population in India. The Arabic invasion, that is the Turk, Mongolian, Islamic conquerors that invaded the ancient civilizations of India, Iran and Israel around the same time in the 7th century. At that time, the three leading faiths in those regions were Judaism, Hinduism and Zoroastrianism before the Islamic Arabic invasions. It was during the Islamic Arabic invasion of Persia, when Persia then was under the Caliphate, and the indigenous Zoroastrians also sought refuge in India in the 7th century after fleeing persecution from the Muslim Caliph. When the Zoroastrians arrived in Gujarat, India, again, there was no coercion to convert into any other religion. They were peacefully welcomed in India. Because the Hindu majority are very tolerant, we emphasize a secularist democracy and freedom to believe in whatever you want to believe, desire to practice whatever faith you wish to desire. Of course, before the British divided India, there was of course no Bangladesh or Pakistan. Today, Bangladesh is of course a Muslim majority population, and the indigenous Hindus of Bangladesh have been massacred in large numbers. They've had to either convert and or they've had to flee their homes in Bangladesh and seek refuge elsewhere. 15% of Hindus resided in pre-undivided India, which is now known as Pakistan. And guess how many percentage is left now of Hindus in Pakistan? 2%. And the statistics are, you can Google them yourself, that 4 Hindu minor girls are kidnapped every 15 days in the province of Sindh, Pakistan today. Where is the media outrage? Nowhere. Where is the global coverage? Nowhere.
Shame on the media.
And people know that India and Pakistan have fought many wars in the past 78 years, of course, all of which India have won. But do you know why we fight these wars? Terrorism. We have come here united against terrorism, and in the last 17 years alone, Pakistani-based terrorist groups have been responsible for so many terrorist attacks. 2017, Jammu Kashmir. 2008, Mumbai, 170 people were killed. Mumbai, 2006, 7 train bomb exploding across, 190 people killed, 800 people injured. Mumbai, 2003, bombings in very famous areas, 50 Indians killed at least. And of course, all of these were, there was Luxury Taliban, which is a Pakistan terrorist organization. They had claimed responsibility for all of these attacks. And there's many more, including the Pahalgam attack, which was recently this year. Now, Kashmir is a Sanskrit word. The word Kashmir itself is a Vedic word for Kashyapa, the land of Lord Shiv. So Kashmir has been occupied by Pakistan unlawfully and illegally, and Jammu and Kashmir was, is, and always will be a part of India. Okay, so most of you might not know this, but India was invaded and colonized by the Mughal invaders and also the Durrani settlers. And post that, what has occurred, especially in Kashmir, is that because of the Islamic majority, the indigenous Kashmiri Hindus have faced 8 exodus. Thousands of Pandit Kashmiris became refugees in their own land, having to flee Kashmir after the 1990 Hindu genocide in Kashmir. Since the various terrorist groups have emerged within Kashmir and sponsored by a combination of Pakistani and militants in Kashmir that have only one aim and end goal, which is to eradicate non-Muslims from secular Hindu majority regions such as India and to perform global dominance of Islamic extremism against Kafirs or infidels, including, of course, wiping out Hindus, Jews and Zoroastrians amongst other communities residing in that region. I believe now is the time to fight harder than we've ever had to fight before, to push the change for the false narrative, which is all around the mainstream media against us. There is Hinduphobic, anti-Indian, anti-Semitic, Israel-hating rhetoric labeling us as Hindutva or Zionists And it is this time that we have to mercifully unite against religious-based terrorism, which we are facing alone in its full wrath. Be bold, be unapologetic, be educated. Statistics, data, history prove that we are not the ones spreading terrorism or anyone else. We are on the receiving end, having to defend ourselves over and over and over again for generations and centuries. Enough is enough. Thank you.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Yashvi. It's truly heartbreaking when we actually sit down and listen to the numbers and the statistics that are behind the sort of violence our Indigenous communities are facing. On that, our next speaker will be Ramyavaran Vasu. Ramyavaran has been a dedicated part of the Hindu community for the past 3 decades, been involved in leadership positions within many of our organizations, and he's truly shifted the work that Hindus have been able to contribute to the Australian community within Australia. Ramyavaranji will perform a short mantra as well as express a few words.
Thank you, Kiran, and a big hurrah for all the individuals who have come here. Hooray! There is a beautiful Subhashit. Subhashit is a wise word, actually, wise men's words. It says that the coconut fibers, if you leave it alone, the dried ones, it by itself it doesn't have any strength. Even a small wind or a small wind that can just carry it away. But if these fibers are brought together, tied together and made a wonderful rope, they can even contain the biggest of the biggest elephants, isn't it? Similarly, every one of us here, we have a voice, we have come together, we will stand united, and we will face this hypocrisy called as terrorism. We will face it together, and we will ensure that our next generations will never have to go through such pain, that the pain that India has gone through, the pain that Jewish bandhus have gone through, and also the Iranian Zoroastrians are going through, and the Iranian minorities are going through. For that to happen, we all have come together today. All these hypocrites who are shouting up there, do not care about them. They keep shouting. They are losing like a pack of wolves. We don't care about them. But we need to come together. We need to stand together. When we come together and raise our voice, all these guys will be just blown away like dried leaves. Let us not care about them. But again, I'm insisting on this fact, saying we have a duty towards our generation next. If they need to live freely with all the freedom that Australian Constitution has guaranteed us, we need to come together, stay together. In one of the earliest Vedas, earliest human written text is called as Rig Veda in Hindu Dharma, Hindu Sanatan Dharma. It says, Sangachatvam, Samvadatvam, Sammo Manansi Janata. It says, let us come together, think together, work together, walk together. Once we do this, all these wolves who have been howling there, they'll be washed away within no time. Jai Shri Ram!
Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram!
That we can see all of us getting fired up, and I guess the other people on the other side also getting fired up. We've just had police intervene there. I will next introduce Colonel Michael Scott of the ADF. Michael has served for over 30 years as an active duty officer in the Australian Army, rising to the rank of Colonel. Michael is the founder and CEO of the 2023 Foundation, a global charity dedicated to combating anti-Semitism. October 7 and the resulting surge in global anti-Semitism deeply impacted him. Michael resolved that he would not be a bystander.
Ladies and gentlemen, how good is Australia, hey? Look at this weather and look at this turnout. Shalom, salam, namaste and g'day. My name is Michael Scott. I'm the founder of the 2023 Foundation, a nascent global charity to combat anti-Semitism. Before founding the charity, I served for more than 30 years in the Australian Army, rising to the rank of Colonel. My operational service included East Timor, Bougainville, Iraq, and 2 tours of Afghanistan. And July 2019 to September 2021, I resided in Jerusalem, Israel's eternal capital, with my wife Dracena. My mission area included Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan and Egypt. It's been a difficult few years, and the past 12 months have been especially painful. Indian and Iranian communities in Australia continue to face disturbing incidents of violence, intimidation and foreign interference. For Iranian Australians, the threats are both local and transnational. In 2025, community leaders again raised alarms about regime surveillance and the harassment of family members in Iran targeted simply because their loved ones spoke out here. These are not distant concerns, they are part of our shared Australian reality. And so I say to you today, I see you, I hear you, I stand with you. I was not expecting the chance of Gas the Jews, F the Jews at the Sydney Opera House on the 9th of October 2023. I turned to my wife and said, "Sweetheart, I must do something. I will not be a bystander." I founded the 2023 Foundation soon after. The mission of the 2023 Foundation is to combat anti-Semitism through lived personal experience. Our vision is to nurture tomorrow's non-Jewish upstanders, not bystanders. And in this mission, we find common cause, because today, good people of all backgrounds are finding their voice. Jewish people are not the only ones being persecuted. We live in dangerous and frightening times, but also in times of great opportunity. When Mahatma Gandhi once spoke for all humans, he said, "You may never know what results come of your actions, but if you do nothing, there will be no result." If you are here today, it is proof positive that you have chosen action. We are gathered to stand against terrorism in all its forms and all its faces, to reject those that glorify murder, whether in Tel Aviv or Tehran, Mumbai or Western Sydney. The Rebbe, Menachem Mendel Schneerson, of blessed memory, once reminded us that a little bit of light dispels a whole lot of darkness. So let me tell you about two extraordinary leaders, two light bearers who came from your heritage. Firstly, we remember Cyrus the Great, the Persian who freed the Jews. In the 6th century BCE, Cyrus the Great, the founder of the Persian Empire, conquered Babylon. There he found the Jews, a people held captive for decades. Cyrus did something astonishing. He freed them. He told them to return to their homeland, to rebuild their temple, and to worship freely. Secondly, we remember the good Maharaja, Jam Sahib, who saved Jewish children during the Shoah. Fast forward 2,500 years to the horrors of World War II, a train carrying over 1,000 Polish Jewish orphans fleeing the Nazis reached Iran and then India. The British colonial authorities were reluctant to intervene, but the good Maharaja stepped up. He opened his palace, he fed the children, he educated them, he gave them dignity and love. To this day, a school in Tel Aviv bears his name. He didn't see Jews or foreigners, he saw children who needed saving. Ladies and gentlemen, that is leadership. Let their example serve as a call to action for us. We have agency, we must use it. Let me describe what I am doing. The 2023 Foundation is building a grassroots social movement, and I say to you here today, perhaps some of your community's brightest young scholars from Iranian, Indian or broader backgrounds might one day travel to Israel on a scholarship provided by the 2023 Foundation to study, to work and to experience, to bring skills, connections and insights back home with you. As alumni of the 2023 Foundation, your success is my success. I will do everything in my power to help you succeed. We live in an Orwellian age of projection and gaslighting, where truth is distorted and lies are repeated until they sound familiar. It is my judgment that we are not yet at nadir. Things will continue to worsen until the critical mass of us stands up, steps forward and declares never again. Ladies and gentlemen, this may seem like a daunting task, but take heart. Many here today draw your ancestry from the great kings of the past. You carry the strength of Cyrus and the courage of the good Maharaja in your veins and their example in your hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time for our light to shine. It's time to stand up. It's time to step forward. It's time to speak up. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Together, we can and we will prevail.
On the national scene, I'm not at all biased. As I introduce a host of Sky News, a star of Sky News, a researcher and writer at the Menzies Research Institute, a recent graduate of Sydney University, and a future Prime Minister of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, Freya Leach.
Best at all, Dad. Thanks for that one. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. It is honestly so incredible to look out and see people that I've never seen before, communities I haven't had much to do with, to get out of our little bubble and into the rest of Sydney and to realise that there is so much that unites us, so much more that unites us than divides us. We are united by our love of people, by our belief in the dignity of human life, by our belief that nobody, regardless of their background, regardless of their religion, regardless of where they come from, should be subject to terror, to harassment, to persecution for who they are. So it's amazing to see the Iranians, the Indians, the Jewish community, and also the Christians. And I want to talk particularly about Christians. Today, 1 in 7 Christians around the world is persecuted for their faith. This year, already over 250 Christians have lost their lives to jihadist terrorism. 2 weeks ago, we saw a church in Syria bombed by an Islamic State suicide bomber. Whole families were wiped out. Before that, we saw dozens of Christians massacred in northern Nigeria by the radical Islamist group Boko Haram. Before that, we saw Christians in villages in the Democratic Republic of the Congo be slaughtered in their villages. Children too. Yet the world is silent. Yet people don't see this. But it is so good to see today there is a recognition that we are united in our love of people and united in standing against the hate. And unfortunately, even in our own country, we have a government that doesn't want to call out hate. We saw on Friday night, 3 separate incidences in Melbourne. An attempted arson attack at a Jewish synagogue, the storming of an Israeli restaurant, and a separate attack, and then also at Chris Minz's office, people chanting death to the IDF. Yet our government goes, we're still determining the motive. We're still figuring out what's going on. We're not really sure. We stand against all forms of racism. We have to stand for the truth, and the truth might be uncomfortable, but the truth is that there are people in our society, in our country, that don't share our values, that want to tear down what we have built. They don't believe in tolerance or respect or love of our neighbor, those Judeo-Christian values that have built Western civilization. So we need to come out here in our numbers, and we'll only achieve this if we're united. The Indian community, you guys are massive, you're incredible. We need to see you guys out here. The Persian community, I've never seen people so fired up. Week after week, you guys come out here protesting activism until Iran is free of Islamic terror. And the Jewish community, you guys have gone through so much. In the last 18 months, watching the fabric of our society crumble in the wake of hate from radicals and from radical leftists has been so sad. Yet you have continued to come out, continued to show up, continued to fight for love, for our Australian values, and for one another. So we are, in all directions, besieged by hate. Yet we stand here in love. And that's the key. If we're going to beat hate, if we're going to beat darkness, we need to be love and light. And that's what we are today. Thank you.
Vote early, vote often. It's a great pleasure now to introduce a Christian singer, Clay Stewart. He's an Australian Christian worship leader. He spent time in Israel. His parents are currently in Israel volunteering and standing with the people. And Clay's going to be joining there next month. And his beautiful sister is going to be his music stand for this afternoon.
So this song is from a church I used to go to for a very long time, but I rewrote it a little bit because I was extremely frustrated, as many of you probably can identify with people hurting, suffering, and being under attack, but we can't reach them. We can't touch them, we can't comfort them. We all want to, but we can't get there. That's in the hands of other authorities, or they're just unreachable. And I needed to go to what I knew how to do, which was worship. Because there's a God that is with all of us, that we can pray to, that we can worship to, that can go on our behalf and comfort these that have been broken, destroyed, or immensely saddened by what's just happened in all of our nations. So, the thing is, I'm a worship leader before I'm a singer, so that means you're gonna join me. And this song, around the middle, I'm gonna name groups of people, and right after it, you're gonna join me in singing Sing Louder. It'll sound something like this. Also, give it up for my most beautiful sister, mic stand. make this our prayer. Let the light that shines above become the light that shines in us. There's no darkness in your way, so have your way. Lord, have your way. Let's give it up for the broken. Jesus! Amen, amen, amen.
Thank you so much for that beautiful song, Clay. I think music is something that can divide every one of us, no matter where we're from, what our culture is, what language we speak. Music is one thing that can divide us, and that was a beautiful example of that. Our next speaker is Tamer Iskandar. Tamer is an Egyptian Christian who is actively working to raise awareness about the persecution of Middle Eastern Christians and strongly standing against the anti-Semitism and radicalization that's happening. Tamer.
Hello everyone, my name is Tamer and also known here by Tim. I'm honored and humbled to stand before you today. I come from Egypt, a land rich in history, a place where my faith in Christ was formed. Growing up in Egypt as a Christian wasn't that easy. We were a minority, and the church I belonged to was part of the persecuted church, a church that faced real pain over the 2,000 years of bombing, discrimination, fear. Many of you may know about the Palm Sunday attack that happened a few years ago, and the 21 Coptic that were beheaded in Libya a few years ago because they refused to denounce their faith in Jesus Christ. What many don't know, that our suffering often goes into unspoken quiet oppression, whispered threat, lost opportunities, loved one injured or killed just for attending a church service. Like any other Christian in the Middle East, I had my share of this persecution and discrimination too. This was part of my daily routine. As we breathe, eat, and drink, we face all sorts of persecution and discrimination. And still, I can call myself lucky one, as I didn't face the fatal persecution that my fellow Christians have faced. I still remember, I will share some story. I still remember that I was beaten very harshly by a Muslim man, kicked in the stomach, punched in the face when I was just a kid, 12 years old. And all of that because I was having a falafel sandwich during the holy months of Ramadan. It was the most expensive falafel sandwich I ever had in my life. I still remember when I was in year 4, while having the kids' Bible study in the church, the terrorists in the nearby mosque attacked our church and start showering it with the gunshots and the Molotov cocktails. We had to hide inside the church, and the kids' youth leaders took us and tried to take us away from the church 2 by 2, and they gave us only one word: run, run for your safety, run home. This happened when I was in year 4. I still remember the state TV, the newspaper that spread hate and continue insult to Christian faith, and still till today. I still remember receiving the same hate and insult from schools, teacher, university, at workplace, in the street. And yet, my Bible, my parents, my church, my family, my Christian community never taught me to hate anyone, not once. They did not teach bitterness or revenge. They taught me to pray for my enemies, to forgive, to love with a love that is embodied in Jesus Christ, to love that shows mercy to those who wish us harm, a love that reflects the very character of our Almighty God. But to be clear, to be clear, love and forgiveness does not mean but any way to compromise the truth that we must strongly stand for. This is the heart of my faith. Through all the pain and of persecution, our voices were and are still unheard. That's why I stand here today, as my heart is really heavy. It deeply saddened me to see hatred, violence, and anti-Semitic attacks flooding our streets, universities, and schools right here in Australia. And this is a shame. And all across the globe after the 7 October attacks. To my Jewish brother and sister here in Australia, the children of Israel, we want to say clearly, we are here. We have been through this pain too. We are here, we are seeing you, we love you, we're standing here shoulder to shoulder with you. This is not just a Jewish issue. This is not just a Jewish issue, it's a moral issue, it's a human issue. And my word to all communities here in Australia, in this beautiful country, Australia, regardless of your faith or background, I say this with urgency to you all. If you don't stand up now, if you stay silent while anti-Semitic spreads, it won't stop with the Jews only. It won't stop with them. You will be next. Hate never satisfies itself with one target. If you think it does not concern you, I am here to say respectfully, you are mistaken. No one is immune to this poison of discrimination and hatred, anti-Semitic and radicalization. But together we are the cure. Let us choose love over hate. Let us raise our voices, not just in defense of one community, but in defense of our shared humanity against the anti-Semitism, terrorism, and radicalization. And at the end, let us pray for the peace of this lovely country, Australia, for Israel, for every place where people suffer because who they are. Let me remind you all at the end, the Holocaust happened once and will never happen again, and never again is now. Thank you, and may God bless Australia, may God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Satamar. Our next speaker is Leila Naseri. She's a composer and an author, a social monarchist activist, and the founder of Meher Iran.
Hi everyone. The Islamic regime in Iran, since its establishment in 1979, has ruled using state terror, political execution, massacres of protesters, terrorists inside and outside the Iran, bombing and so on. Please let me reading 50 major horrible events so they are never forgotten. 1. 100 were killed in massacres around 1979. 600 people were killed in burning of Rex Cinema. Official of Shah regime, military officer, Baha'is, and many more were executed on rooftop of Refa School by revolutionary trial that lasted only minutes. 2. Mass execution of freedom fighter in 1981. Thousands were executed their political beliefs in a large-scale massacre in Kurdistan, Mahabad, Sanandaj, and Sakis. 3. Summer of 1988, between 4,000 and 7,000 political prisoners were executed, but fatwa of Ayatollah Khomeini and mass grave used to hide the body. 4. Chain assassinations in the 90s. Dozens of thinkers, writers, and political activists killed in the Iran and outside of the Iran, like Freidoun Farrokhzad, murdered in Germany in 1992. 5. A student massacre in July 1999. Security force attacked dormitories and killed many students, including Izzat Ibrahim Nejad, Fereshte Alizadeh, Akbar Mohammadi were killed, and hundreds of other students were wounded, arrested, tortured, or disappeared until now. 6. Green movement crackdown in 2009. Dozens of protesters were killed in the street, including Neda Agha Sultan and Sohrab Ahmadi Arabi. Many others were tortured and killed in Kahrizak prison, including Dr. Ramin Purandarzjani. 5. 22 people killed and dozens of people were injured in Glasgow building fire collapse in 2016. 8. In protests from December 2017 to January 2018 in over 100 places, dozens of people were killed by bullets, including Amir Hossein Hemmati and Mohsen Adeli. And another tragedy, 32 people were killed in Sanchi oil tanker incident. 9. Bloody November of 2019 uprising. Over 1,500 protesters massacred as reported by Reuters and Amnesty International by direct shooting in Mashhad, Tehran, Kermanshah, and Shiraz. Victims include Puya Bakhtiari, Navid Behboudi, Nikta Esfandiani, Mohsen Mohammadpour, Reza Sayyadi. Mehdi Salmanzadeh, a 13-year-old kid who was hung in his bedroom, and his father is still in Evin prison. 10. Ukrainian plane downing. In January 2020, flight PS-752 was shot down by IRGC, and 176 innocent lives were lost. 11. Political execution in 2020 and 2021. Navid Afkari, an elite sport champion, was executed because of confessing under torture. Ruhollah Zam, a journalist, was kidnapped and executed. And rising number of executions among Kurd, Baluch, Arab, and Baha'i. 12. Mahsa Amini uprising in 2022 and 2023. Over 100 protesters killed across Iran during mass protests after the killing Mahsa Amini by morality police. Victims included Nika Shakarami, Sarina Ismailzadeh, Kian Pirfalak, Hasti Narui, Siavash Namdar, Aida Haqi, and many, many more. And protesters executed Mohsen Shakeri, Mohammad Hosseini, Majid Reza Rahnavar, Mehdi Karami, Saleh Mir Hosseini, Majid Kazemi, Saeed Yaqubi, Mohammad Qoballu, Reza Rasai, and many, many more. And over 11,000 people were detained. 30. Mass execution and minority injustice in 2024. Over 8,000 executions in our year from Sunni, Baluch, and Sufi community. 14. Port Rajai explosion in April 2025. Through a huge explosion in Bandar Abbas port, 65 people were killed and 6 people were missing, and over 1,000 others were injured by Islamic regime. 15. And just couple of days ago, Mehdi Abai and Ali Reza Karbasi, 2 young nature tourists from Hamadan, were killed in cold blood a few days ago by the regime. Say with me, may they all be remembered. 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 Yes, shocking. The Islamic regime has carried out a slow, systematic genocide the people of Iran. The Islamic regime is second in the world for total number of execution. And that's why we, the Iranian people, demand ending of this regime for freedom of Iran and saving the world from terrorists. No Hezbollah, no Hamas, no Ayatollah. 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 Regime change in Iran. Regime change in Iran. Regime change in Iran. Regime change in Iran. King Reza Pahlavi. King Reza Pahlavi. King Reza Pahlavi. King Reza Pahlavi. Thank you very much.
So there are many victims of terror. There's a website that tracks jihadist terror attacks. When last I checked, since the attacks of 9/11, in the last 25 years, there have been close to 50,000 individual Islamic jihadist terror attacks on communities around the world. Wherever you find jihadis, you find terror attacks. This is an assault on our common humanity, and it is a battle.
400 years. It's not about 9/11.
I know it's 1400 years, but I'm just giving you the numbers for the last 25 years in our lifetimes, because this is something that is not going away in a hurry. We need women and men and boys and girls of courage to unite and to stand together in the face of evil wherever we see it. And we need to encourage our government to stand and see the evil and call out the evil where it really exists. So we stand, we're all concerned about what's happening in other parts of the world, rightly so. But unfortunately, we can't change the Middle East from here. But what we can do is take actions to make sure Australia remains a place of peace and security for every single person, irrespective of race, color, culture, or creed. We are an amazing country. We're a country of migrants. If there are any Indigenous people here, you beat us here, but the rest of us have all immigrated, and we love this country. May God bless Australia and everybody who lives here. And we are going to now join together in singing the Australian national anthem. So I'm going to invite Leah and Hilton to come up and lead us as we stand and sing one anthem.
Hi everyone. Sure, thanks. Please everyone, and good wishes to you too. If everybody could please... okay, good. Yeah, I said good wishes. Yeah. So if everyone could join in the anthem, please let's sing it with gusto and very, very loud and proud. Thank you.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair, in joyful strains and
So we're going to sing a song called One Day. If you don't know the lyrics, that's fine. You'll get the drift. You'll join in. There's a lot of one days, so just join in.
It's a song about hope and peace. So, yeah. If our tech works.
Sometimes I lay under the moon.
But don't let it fail. No way, no way. Sing it.
Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it cut me down.
So when
negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been waiting for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will say one day, one day,
one day,
one day, one day, one day.
when there's a song we change, we people that say, stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free, and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like one day, one day. Everybody. Whoa, one day, one day. Whoa, all my life
I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will say one day, one day, one day.
Again, everyone.
One day, one day, one day. I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will say one day, one day, one day.
All right, you guys can know. Sing it.
One day, one day, one day.
Peace and love, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bar mitzvahs, brisses. Well, friends, that is bringing us to the end of our time together. I want to just remind you there are flyers here with some QR codes. You can click on these. The first one will give you a link to email your local federal member to call.
All right, well, it's winding up now. What were the socialists, I guess they were, with their red tablecloth, have gone. They went away a while ago. I think there's other ones waiting. There's Christians now wanting to set up. It's probably taken up their turf. I don't really know about Parramatta. It's pretty much like Sydney. It's Parramatta Town Hall. It's like Sydney Town Hall. I guess it's Always someone here doing something or other. Yeah, so, I don't know. So, National Australians Against Anti-Semitism Day on October 19th, he said.
Hating Jews is a bad idea. Get together and say, in our country, we will not put up with anti-Semitism. So we're starting the registrations for that now, and we want to do these rallies simultaneously with other Australians who think Jew hatred doesn't belong here.
No media here today at all that I could see. They had ABC mic sitting there, but I couldn't really see a camera unless it was that small kind of camera. Anyway, there's some Mark Leach signing off there. I should have listened to that rather than chatted away during it. But yeah, the flag's getting wound up now, and that's it. It's all over. And what's that? Oh, this is the guy. He's just kind of the guy that does the organising, I think. All right. Oh no, sorry, it's not. It's the Christian. He's going. Christian guy, yeah. So I think he's probably trying to take advantage of a crowd, but I don't know if they're going to go across. I think they'll take off, to be honest.
Shall be saved. I want to let you know that today the problem isn't people.
He's getting a bit more than he would normally get, probably.
And the issue is the devil. And I want to let you know that the Bible says that the devil came to steal, kill, and destroy, but Jesus came to give life and life in abundance. I want to encourage